Hey everybody, PsyStarcraft here, casting another StarCraft 2 game, and today marks the 6th-day anniversary of my comeback to StarCraft. I know it's a momentous occasion, I just needed to point that out so you all know. I've gone almost a week with playing StarCraft, getting a lot of games in lately, and streaming a lot more than I used to, which was like 1 day is how much I used to stream. So if you are interested in watching a stream, I stream at random occasions. Sometimes it will be scheduled, sometimes it won't be. Follow me on Facebook at PsyStarcraft.com or Facebook.com/PsyStarcraft or Twitter.com/PsyStarcraft. I'm trying to find a good way to get the word out via YouTube, but I'm not sure if there is any kind of method to that. It's like I don't know, like a video. I can make a quick video. That's kind of clumsy though, having to upload a video just telling you that I'm streaming. But, you know, if anyone knows a way to efficiently do that, let me know, to let you know when I'm streaming through YouTube. Streaming on Justin TV, but letting you know through YouTube. And I'll try that, but anyway. We have a game here. That's the purpose of this cast. vilePsY on the bottom left as the red Zerg, against ToD, the blue Protoss, in the bottom right. And this game, I remember I try a variation of a build I like to use on Terran. I'm not going to give it away, but you'll see it develop and you'll probably have an idea of what the build is. And you'll see how well it works in this game. Looks like I am going to try to throw down my hatchery first, and ToD actually scouts the wrong location first, and I am able to throw down that hatchery. A lot of Protoss players will send a probe out on 10 or 11 just for the sake of blocking a Zerg's fast expansion. Because if a Zerg fast expands, that's the best thing they can possibly do. And because I haven't gotten scouted at all, I am going to drone up a little bit to about 16 and then throw down my pool. I don't feel threatened at all. I haven't seen any kind of probe run in. And he actually scouts me last, which is always a good feeling. If you guys missed it, one of my streaming days was yesterday, and it was me and Zai, and I actually got a hold of SC2, and we were playing a lot of 4v4s. Zai and I were a few beers in. SC2 wasn't. He's not old enough to drink, unfortunately. Trust me, we make fun of him for that. And we had some mixed results. Some games we won, some games we lost, but rest assured, every single game was played in spectacular fashion. So that's part of the reason I want to let you guys know when I'm streaming, because tons of you are requesting that I play with SC2, whether it be 1-on-1s, 2-on-2s, or 3-on-3s with Zai, which is what we did. And that's why I want to let you know when I'm streaming. First Zealot is out. We've got a cybernetics core completed. One of the recent updates, the patches, increased the research time of cybernetics core warp gates to 160 seconds, up from 140 seconds. Expansion has now completed, and I'm producing 4 Zerglings. That's really the max number of Zerglings you want to make, unless the opponent is being aggressive. We are seeing a chrono boost on the warp gates. No chrono boost. Actually, I think there was a chrono boost on the gateway as well. So he might actually come out and maybe try to snipe a probe, snipe this Overlord. Oh my goodness, this Overlord's out of position, and this is what happens when you play on a map you're not used to. Your Overlord gets completely out of position. You see the Stalker's just kind of dancing around trying to do the Carlton or something, and I want to try to go back and forth, back and forth. He anticipates that I am going to try to cliff him, to ledge him again, and he brings that Stalker back, and this Overlord is seeing his end. Poor guy. Of course, taking 14 damage from the Stalker. One more shot, and down goes the Overlord. If I was able to fly down here, he could just run back up and finish it off anyway. And, you know, I was anticipating the loss of that Overlord. A replacement Overlord is on the way, but already I'm down just because of that carelessness, not being careful about, well, that's what carelessness is not being careful. About the map and, you know, the geography of it. He had a nice pylon that scouted it, and he was able to get an early lead because of it. Still producing drones, being very careful not to lose my Zerglings. You lose Zerglings, you forfeit map control, you lose larva, and in turn you lose drones, aka economy, and it can really spiral. So as a Zerg player, you know, losing normal units, you can almost see that as losing economy, losing harvesters. Very unique mechanics of the race. I do have 2 queens. And we're seeing a very fast first upgrade, starting it at just 6 minutes, and a second evolution chamber as well, only on 2 geysers, 1 geyser at the moment, rather. And I see that he has an expansion, so that's going to free me up to drone up even harder. We see 3 more drones in production, and I still only have 2 Zerglings now. Because he's taking this expansion, and because I've been fairly careful with my lings, I still have 3 of my first 4. I'm going to be droning up pretty hard. 4 more lings on the way. I'm not sure if those lings were really justified. I mean, yes, he has more units than I have right now, but the time it takes him to walk across the map, I could just get a spine, you know, 3/4 of the way done, pump a lot of links, put both my queens at my expansion. So many things that Zerg can do to adapt to an oncoming attack. Whoa, what's this drone doing? That's not one thing you want to do. And the Stalker's going to chase the drone for a second. He's probably thinking I'm crazy, maybe trying to spine him out or something. But a pretty macro-oriented game as of yet. And you see he is pushing out. He's not feigning. He's just trying to push my Zerglings back. However, I must have thought he was feigning because immediately I make 8 Zerglings. And that's another mistake. Do not overreact to an enemy, you know, enemy movements, because a lot of times they'll just fake it. Now, you have to think realistically. At this point in the game, is he really going to attack with 8 gateway units? Probably not. Don't need to make Zerglings. However, I did anyway. And that was kind of a mistake. Now see, he's going to do it again. And this time, looks like I just make 2 more Zerglings. So not too bad of an overreaction. +1 almost complete. Lair on the way. And saturation is looking very good. 48 to 42. I've been ahead the whole game. And my money's actually getting a bit high. And that's what happens when you are on 2 base with extreme saturation. So fast. And you don't have any Roach Warren. You don't have any auxiliary hatchery, you're not getting a 3rd, stuff like that. You will float a lot of resources, which is exactly what I'm doing. So keep in mind, if you are going quick upgrades as a Zerg player, you're going to have a lot of money. You might want to expand, get some extra queens, throw down an auxiliary hatchery, something to spend your resources better. And getting 3 overlords, maybe not the most efficient way to spend your resources, but that's what I'm doing instead. Anyway, I mean. And an infestation pit too. So this is the variation of the ZVT build. Fast upgrades. You basically get +1 armor, +1 attack, so fast, and then you time your lair with your next round of upgrades, and then you just go mass ling. You basically just go mass ling, get infestors, get a very fast hive, and try to overrun your opponent with Ultralisks with 6 sick upgrades. The only problem with that is that it's not quite as effective against toss. Oh my goodness, losing all of these lings, all but 2 lings. That's just careless. Keep your eye on your minimap, people. I should be on the minimap at least, what, 50% of the time, if not more. I don't know an exact number, 70% time, who knows. But, you know, that's actually a big loss. See, I'm forced to produce 24 Zerglings because I no longer have the sight outside his base. I don't have the number of lings, and it's just not good to lose lings in general. Both players still running off 2 base. I'm actually taking a 3rd base. I'm not sure if this would be the best base to take as Zerg, 3rd base, because taking this, if he does divert his army up here, he's very vulnerable to counterattacks through the middle, and that's why I like taking a base further away rather than one that's vulnerable to a straight push through these rocks or harassment on the cliff, stuff like that. Protoss, on the other hand, as we can see here, wants to take a closer 3rd base. They have a less mobile army, and a lot of Zerg units are melee, so they can't exploit this cliff too much. Even roaches can barely snipe maybe 1 or 2 of those probes. So it's just funny how the two races are so different in so many ways, how they want to expand, or what location they want to expand, and just lots of things like that. And it catches even more Zerglings with some force fields. I'm trying to run northern, saving only 3 lings, but again, keep an eye on the minimap. That should be the lesson for this game. I've lost a lot of Zerglings. Luckily, I am quick teching, and he's not showing any aggression besides just those tiny pushes, so I will be at Ultra soon. I will be to 2-2 soon. He's researching just off of 1 forge, it looks like. He does have a robotics up, chrono boosting the forge, and 1 Colossus out. Very popular form of scouting for Protoss units is, of course, the Phoenix. 3 infestors out. Any neuroparasite. We're not seeing any neuroparasite right now. Harvester count 66 to 53, so I have a firm economic lead. Need to start getting some geysers if I do plan on getting ultras. Hive is almost finished. 9 more drones and burrow and neuroparasite. So there's the neuroparasite. This overlord is kind of scouting out in the middle. Better location for this overlord would have been, well, actually nowhere really. Better location in hell, you bastard. And for the time being, all I have is 4 infestors and 68 lings. Fortunately for me, he's only got 1 colossus, and lings, you know, if they are able to get in there around that colossus and limit the colossus AoE to just 2 or 3 lings, they're actually not too bad against colossi. Now, not too bad is kind of giving them a little bit too much credit. They're pretty bad against colossi in general, but, you know, If you get a good surround like I have here, I have a group of Lings at the top, group of Lings to the west. I plan to fungal to prevent any kind of escape, but force fields are going to play a key role. That's the reason Lings do not work against ToS in most situations, is force fields, and we'll see how well ToD executes his force fields. Lings from the west moving in, Lings from the north moving in. Force fields only blocking out the infestors, not the best force fields at all. Only a few left over to get the remaining Lings. Tons of infested Terrans popping out because I just can't reach for fungal, and he is losing so many ground units, but looks like my Lings will be cleaned up. Infested Terrans, however, pushing the remainder of his army back, so not the best exchange. If we check out the units lost, he actually lost more than me. But when I can only produce Lings, and I only have 3 hatcheries, let's see, almost 4 hatcheries, I don't have the larva for that. That's the problem with Lings, is you need a lot of larva. You're not going to be able to spend your money, and you really need some kind of fallback unit, you know, in the meantime. Luckily, his push was late enough that he allowed me to get ultras, and out come the ultras, man. 3 ultras, so fast in the game. Not even at 15 minutes, and I'm already producing ultras. Check out the saturation, 71 to 61, so good macro overall by me. Not the best map awareness as far as saving my Lings go, and not the best decision making either, or strategy, I should say. And we'll see how well ultras fare against the Protoss army if I get some good fungals in and stuff like that. So it's definitely a pretty even game. If I had to give the advantage to someone, I'd say the ToS right now. Once I pick up my 4th base and get some ultras now, it should slant into my advantage, but it'll be dangerous if I let him get maxed out. You always hear about the Protoss death ball, and you know, if a Protoss death ball maxes out, it's almost impossible to get a cost-efficient army against it. It's very, very difficult, and that's something I like to rely on roaches and Baneling drops for. And Broodlords, of course, are very strong. Problem with Broodlords against ToS, though, is if they get one Stargate, Chrono boost out a couple of Void Rays, and those Broodlords just die so fast. 6 infestors. Harvester count now almost dead even. Need to produce some more harvesters. You want to be around 80 harvesters as Zerg. Oh, look at this, some infested Terran harassment. How many did I kill? I don't know. They don't even have kills on them. Oh, it's on the infestor. I think my infestor died. No, my infestor's down there. 6 probe kills from the infested Terran, so pretty cool. It's always fun to see. Well, maybe not all probe kills. 4 workers killed for me, 1 worker killed for him. There we go. Got rid of it. And a huge, huge melee army here. One thing ultras do excel at is breaking force fields. They are massive units. I don't know if ToD has seen my ultras. Yes, he has seen my ultras with this observer. Always keep an overseer in the bulk of your army. Yes, I do have one here, so I'll spot the overseer. Hopefully I'll throw down 1 or 2 infested Terrans or fungal it or something, because observers aren't that expensive anymore, but they do take up valuable time at the robotics facility while you're training them. So, you know, every observer trained is a half a Colossus that isn't making, so that's always good. Looks like I'm trying to get aggressive. Now, at this point in the game, you have to think, do you want to get aggressive? I am kind of maxed out, but if he attacks me, I can choose to fight in the middle, unless he wants to like go down here, which he'd probably do, but I can kind of dictate where we fight. If I'm on the defense, I can choose to have my army up here, down here, and so on. So it seems like I could just expand, but because I'm 3-3 almost, well, my upgrades are so high, not quite 3-3, I wanted to press the issue and try to use the upgrade advantage that I have so far. Plus, there's the whole not letting the Protoss army max out, so he's not even getting upgrades. He is getting charge, it looks like. I'm surprised he's not getting blink instead of charge. And another thing is I don't want him to adapt. Oh, there goes a neural parasite on a zealot. That was a misclick. I was probably aiming for a high Templar. That didn't really work out. But as I was saying, I want to push out before he maxes out. But look at that, he's at 200, 200. Even with these upgrades, man, this is going to be a fearsome battle. These Zerglings are going to melt so fast to the Psionic Storm and the High Templar. In I go. So many Psystorms just destroying every single link. He's feedbacking the Infestors. I do take control of 1 Colossi. Is he going to focus down that Infestor? No, he's not. So I'm actually doing significant damage with this Colossus that I neural parasited. But these Ultras are just running into their death. Zealots eating up a lot of the damage in the front, while the Stalkers shooting away with their +2. That +4 armor on those Ultras just isn't enough, and he decimates that entire army. Decimate, probably not the right word, actually. Decimate technically means to decrease it by a 10th, hence the root deci. So I guess he deci times 10 my army. Frantically trying to reproduce units, but the only unit that will come fast enough are Zerglings. Archons even tear up Zerglings. So many counters in a Protoss army to Zerglings, man. And that poor Ultra was just caught out in the middle, not able to do anything. So it's now 136 to 150. Protoss slow pushing out, and I'm continuing to make some Ultras, now putting down the Spire. If we check out the saturation, still not as high as it should be. I really need the gas, and I really need those 14 extra drones too. My income isn't really what it should be at this point. Ultra now missed rally, just kind of chilling at the expansion. Finally going to run back. However, that will lead him to my third base. Now, one good thing about him attacking my expansion first, instead of my natural, is that it does free me up to counterattack. And this is exactly what I mean. This is what happens when Zerg expand far away. It opens up counterattacks for the Zerg when the Protoss attack. And you'll see he has almost no defenses at his expansion. I'm going to be running in here with the Lings. The Lings are 3-2 with Adrenal Glands. 2 more Ultras swarming in as well. And he has no PsyStorm. There is no Chimera Amulet. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, that's right. They changed that a while ago. And he's going to lose the expansion if he doesn't get back fast. He is going to run back, splitting off 5 Stalkers and 2 Zealots to my 4th expansion. Might be able to take it out, but he can't multitask at the time. These cannons are going down. Lots of Stalkers going down. A couple Infested Terrans blasting with the Stalkers. Not going to happen. And can I pick up this Nexus before he warps in enough units? It'll be a huge blow to him. He'll be on 2 bases, creating his third. Actually, it's just now getting up and running. But it looks like I won't be focusing down this Nexus. I'm going for the probes. Harvester count now 50 to 56. That was a healthy blow to his army count, to his probe count. But was it enough? I'm still at 124. Finally cleaning up this force up here. And, you know, I'm trying to squeeze back into this game. Greater Spire. Where's the Greater Spire? There's a Spire. Man, that's not a Greater Spire, though. And, yeah, you guys can just see how ineffective Ultras have been this game. Zealots soak up so much damage from Ultras. And Colossi just kind of chilling in the back, do a great job as well. He's got an Archon, and it's just... Ultras and ToS don't really mix. T3 and ToS don't really mix. If you're going to go T3... you're probably better off going Broodlords, from my experience anyway. Let me know in the comments if you think otherwise and why. Or maybe some examples of games as to why Ultras might be good against Protoss, besides busting down force fields. Or just switching from Broodlords to Ultras or something. The problem is Void Rays do so good against both of them, but yeah. So far, not too successful. Units, I'm just at 33 Zerglings and 8 Ultralisks, a couple Infestors though, so I may be down. I'm not completely out. The food supply is a bit lopsided. Protoss now running at 4 bases, expanding towards his opponent. This is a bit defenseless. I don't like this expansion choice. I think he would have rather go expanded right here, or maybe in the top right. This is really vulnerable, and you're seeing here, yeah, this is exactly why you don't want to expand, you know, and have your army so far away from it. If you're going to expand here, you should probably attack through this route, or at least have your army at the choke in the middle so you're readily able to, you know, defend whatever location you want. And as a result of this careless expansion, he is going to lose it to just a handful of Lings. So down goes that Nexus, tossed now to 3 bases. We are on 3 base to 3 base. However, he has a nice Harvester lead. And of course his army composition is superior. Despite my 3-3 upgrades, Ultra's forcing a PsyStorm. Misadvised, ill-advised. And I don't know why he's making these Archons. Maybe he feels like PsyStorm won't do anything against the Ultras compared to Archons, and I think he might actually be right. In come the Ultras. Infestor getting 1 nice fungal growth off, 2 fungal growths off. Where are all my Zerglings at? My Zerglings are completely dead. I used all my Zerglings on the expansion to the south. Zealots soaking up tons of damage, trying to reinforce to the west with some Zerglings. Ultras doing severe damage, but just can't get through those Zealot numbers. And down go the rest of those Ultras. Production tab showing 3 more Infestors and 14 Zerglings, but this Protoss Death Ball is just walking wherever it chooses. Archons are really good now, man. 3 range, upgraded from the 2 range prior to the patch. And now we can see some Overlords here. What is Psy looking at? He is watching his Overlords. He knows he's lost the game. He just wants to check out what the opponent is doing, what kind of units he has. And, you know, not going to find out too much, just pretty standard play. The real problem here was I didn't take advantage of him leaving me alone. I could have taken my 4th faster. I could have got my gas or saturation on my 3rd a lot faster. Could have gone Broodlords instead of Ultras, and I really think Ultras were a poor choice. Archons do amazing. Zealots do amazing. Stalkers can always blink and micro well against Ultras. If he's not getting sentries, you know, you don't really need Ultras anyway. And just a lesson for you guys. sometimes direct confrontation isn't always the best route to go. Every battle I fought head on, I lost. The only wins I picked up were right here when I fought when his army wasn't there, and when I killed this Nexus when he wasn't around. So let it be known, Ultras suck. Try not to go into a battle when you know you're going to lose, like right here. Lots of Psystorms. And Zerglings aren't that good against Toss late game. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments, as always, and let me know if I can, how I can reach you guys as far as when I'm streaming. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and as always, GG!